Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sanyavari Paschatya Dasatani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Welcome everyone. I'm going to begin today with a song. It is the second verse of Shikshashtakam. And it's, how many of you know that verse? Raise your hand if you know the verse. Krishna, you have hundreds and millions of names. You've made it easy to approach you by your name. You have hundreds of millions of names. In your holy names, you've invested all your potencies. But I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction. Lord Chaitanya is taking the part of people like us and saying, holy name can do everything, but I have no attraction. So we're going to sing that. If you can figure out what I'm singing, you can sing along as long as you stay muted. Okay? So there's many kinds of ways we could play it. You like rock and roll, or that's not good. We'll see. Let me see if this works. Maybe. Your holy name can render blessings on all living beings. You have hundreds of names, like Krishna and Govinda. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste for your holy name. No taste for your name. Your holy name can render blessings on all living beings. You have hundreds of names, like Krishna and Govinda. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste. So unfortunate that I have no taste for your holy name. So unfortunate that I have no taste. I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. You can all sing that. I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. Everyone. I'm so unfortunate that I have that I have no taste. Your holy name can render blessings on all living beings. And you have hundreds of names like Krishna and Govinda. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I'm so unfortunate that I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste for your holy name. Have no taste for your name. I have no taste. I am so unfortunate that I have no taste for your name. What do you think? How does that make you feel? Better or worse?
Better.
I have.
I love
Better.
better.
Oh, good.
Better.
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 So the first half is appreciation. Krishna's name has all his potencies. That's amazing. And the second half is lamentation. Even though that's true, I don't like to chant as much as I should. All right, I have a question for you. What do you like better, chanting or ice cream?
Chanting. Chanting.
I like chanting too.
Okay, so I go to your house and I say, I put a big bowl of ice cream and I put Japa beads next to it and I say, which one do you want? What would you take?
I would choose chanting because
Japa.
I would choose chanting because
I would choose both. If I would be honest, then I would choose
I choose chanting because I have cold right now.
Are you from America?
I'm going to go to your house and do that experiment.
If I was by myself, then I would choose the ice cream.
Oh, Radha says she would take the ice cream if she was by herself. But if other people were looking. Okay, I pray that your chanting will taste better than ice cream. That's what we want, all right? Okay.
Guru Maharaj,
So-
I'm sorry, Guru Maharaj, the video is very bad, of a bad quality. Maybe we should ask the devotees to turn their videos off, and maybe that will help, because your internet connection is very, very low. Yeah, we can hardly see you.
Oh, wait. I have the wrong internet. Hold on, I'm going to change my internet.
Okay.
I can change to faster. That's strange. I lost my internet connection. Just bear with me for a minute. I don't know why. My other internet says it's, let's say, doesn't look like it's happy. Okay, it says it's connected. We should be better.
I don't think so, Maharaj. At least now.
I'm still frozen?
Yes, it's very bad.
Give
Maybe
me another minute.
Okay.
Maybe give me another minute and see. It's this new connection. Of course, can you hear me?
Yes.
No?
Yeah, we can hear you, but
You can hear me?
your
Did I
video
freeze
is
up?
frozen. Yeah.
All right. So if some of you can turn your video off, somehow or other my internet is not like happy.
Yeah, maybe that
It's
will
seeing
help.
so many videos. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. And I need you to raise a hand before you speak out. Otherwise, we'll get too many. Who remembers what we discussed last month in the last class? Does anyone remember? You have to remind me because I give many classes and I don't remember exactly what we talked about. Mhm.
We have
I haven't
Navaneet Samskriti
yeah,
raised hand.
make this better.
There are only 2 people raising
Hold on, everyone. Okay. You could raise your hand in a participants. Oh, so we have some scruti. You remember what we talked about? You want to tell us?
about tolerance.
About what?
Tolerance.
Tolerance. Oh, wow. We did. Okay. What did we say? You remember?
We have to be tolerant while we're chanting.
Hmm.
We have to be tolerant.
Why?
We have to be tolerant while we're chanting.
And also when we're not chanting. Otherwise, we'll become distracted. All right. My internet is really bad. I don't know why.
It says your internet's a bit better.
It's better now?
I can actually see you really good and hear you really good. Yeah.
Yes,
Me
Ravi.
You
too.
can see me, but
You're frozen.
I can't hear you so well.
Now you're like your internet's going a bit bad. No, it's frozen. It's frozen. So
That's because he's right now frozen.
You can hear me? As long as you can hear me. Good.
It's pretty good from my side.
So why don't you, I think all of you are going to have to take your videos off because
yes, Roji, we can do video off.
you can turn your videos and then if you want to say something, just raise your hand. And I see that we have anyone else want to say something? Someone else had their hand up.
Guru
but I
Maharaj,
don't see it.
do you think it's okay if I just mute everybody and if they raise their hands, I will unmute them? Otherwise, we can't hear
Okay.
you properly. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, dear devotees, if you want to say something, please raise your virtual hand and I will unmute you.
Raise your virtual hand and we'll call on you. Okay. So we talked about tolerance because I think we discussed if we let things in this world disturb us, we can't chant because our minds will be upset and distracted. Is that right, Radha? You remember? Is that what we discussed? Something about like sometimes you have to tolerate even if it's difficult, because if you don't tolerate the pain gets worse when you don't tolerate. You just allow it to bother you, and it bothers you so much that you're not able to chant properly because your mind is so upset. And what else did we discuss? Anyone remember? Okay. Sanvi Garg. Can you unmute her? Or I can
Actually, this
unmute
is
her.
my first
Okay.
class I had attended in this Japa class, but I had a query that why do we need our Japa bags, our bead bags?
Can you say that again? It was
I
breaking
want,
up.
I want to say two things that why do we need our bead bags, and one thing more that you have low connection. The video is freezing
Uh-huh.
again and again.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. It was working fine a little while ago. Nothing I can do. Okay. I wanted to ask you more questions, but I can hardly hear you. And I don't know. Maybe the neighbors are playing video games, like 10 boys next door are playing video games, and now there's no space. All right, Karuna wants to say something. Yes, Karuna, you want to say something? I don't know if I can hear you, but you can try.
Like it was
Internet is cutting.
Wait. Navaneet, wait a second. Karuna's going to say something, and you can speak after. Okay.
okay.
Karuna, you can speak. Oh, that was noisy. I guess Navaneet, you can speak.
Okay.
Too much.
Like for me, your videos pretty good, but every like 10 minutes it just freezes for a moment.
Okay. Nadia, my connection's so bad I can't. Everything they say is breaking up.
Yes,
So you
Maharaj.
would have to put in the chat.
Every
You have to
few
put in the
hours
chat
the
what they're saying.
internet is cutting.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Move out of
And it's
Alachua.
very
Get a
blurry.
better connection. Yeah. I could restart. Well, can you hear me? You can hear me though?
Very bad.
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you well.
Everything's bad. I don't know. What should I do?
Maybe we should restart
I
the
can go
meeting.
in.
No?
We can try. I can go in the house and try it there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I can go in the house. Should I try that?
Okay, Maharaj, should we wait for you?
If it doesn't work in the house, then we will restart the meeting. All right. Hold on. We're gonna take a walk to the house. Okay? Let's go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'll show you my temple room. You want to see it? We have Gaura Tai, 2 sets of Radha Krishna. We have Giriraj. We have Shalagram. We have Thakur Haridas. And Lord Nishingadev. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. The internet's not working down there.
I'm not even using it.
So we tried up here. Can you hear me better up here?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Want to see the deities? Hold a second. To pin myself. No. I can't pin myself.
Maharaj, you are not the host. That's why you can't do it.
There's Gaura Tai, made from neem wood. We had them carve that way. We had them carve that, the hands like that in Navadvip. Then these deities here, you know, in the Prabhupada movie, I don't know if you know, in the Prabhupada movie, they showed Prabhupada worshiping Radha Govinda. Had little deities. They were brass. Well, these are the deities. These are the deities in that movie, and we painted them. They're actually brass. We painted them white. Radharani's white and Krishna's black. But those are the deities from that movie. And there's Thakur Haridas. Can you see him? If you ever can get a Thakur Haridas deity, it's really good for Japa because he likes to chant. And then here is little Lord Nishingadev. Gold plated, it was a gift. And here's another set of Radha Krishna, which were my daughter's deities when she was very young, which we got in Vrindavan. And then here's Giriraj and Shalagram is a Korma Shila. Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'm going to go in another room. Then I'll sit down and then hopefully everything will be good. Okay. Yeah. So we're good now?
Yes, Maharaj,
Yeah.
it's much better. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I had a question for you. Any of you, raise your hand. Have you ever had special experience with chanting? Like something like really special happened? Or you had a special feeling or something like really special? Karuna, can you unmute Karuna? She wants to tell us something.
Yes, you can unmute yourself.
Karuna, you can unmute yourself. And then after Karuna, Shivani, you can speak.
Sometimes when I see the movies of Krishna, I remember him.
Wow. You like to chant and watch movies of Krishna? Or you remember him after that you watch the movie, or both?
Sometimes I'm doing something and I remember Krishna.
Nice. And how do you feel?
Good.
Okay, Shivani, she wants to share her experience.
So, once I went on a trip and I lost a very special teddy bear of mine. And then I did 16 rounds a day. Well, not 16, about like 3 rounds a day. And then one night my stuffed animal came back because I prayed to Krishna and he gave it back.
Where did he go? Where did your stuffed animal go? He went on a Japa walk or something, huh? Thank you.
It went.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else want to share? Navneet wants to share. Is that right? You want to share, Navneet? You had any special experience with chanting?
Yeah.
The deities in anyone can
Okay.
understand.
I just had.
Can you come closer to your phone so we can hear you? It's a bit
Okay.
noisy.
It was Krishna's plan to see the deities.
Oh, yeah. Krishna messed up the internet so you could see our deities, right? Yeah, that's probably true. Okay. Can I tell you, any of you have any other stories about chanting? Radha, you have a story?
So one time I had like an exam, so I did not practice that much. So I chanted 16 rounds in the morning, and then in the end, I passed the exam.
So let me think. Okay. So that means all you have to do is chant 16 rounds and you don't have to study and you'll pass all
No,
your
that was
exams.
only for one time.
All right. Well, you must have studied a little bit, but definitely Krishna helps his devotees. Okay. Keshav has a story.
So we go to these festivals, like we distribute books, and we went to this place, and it suddenly started heavily raining, and we were in this tent, and the tent was literally about to blow apart because it was so windy and so rainy. And like our group, we were huddled in there and we were chanting, like not rounds. We didn't have beads. We were just chanting, and then it just like stopped. Well, it stayed there, but whenever it chanted really intensely, typo stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought when you chant intensely, it rains more.
No. Well, we had the intention to stop the rain, not to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You had the intention to stop. Well, you're pretty powerful. I'm going to call you up sometime when it rains too much here. See if you can stop it for me. All right. Who else wants to share? Mukund Krishna. You want to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to share one thing. The one time when I was chanting in front of our deities in our house, then I just felt like they blinked. And
Felt like what? Felt like
I
what?
just felt like they blinked, like their eye blinked. And another time when I was doing Aarti, then I felt like Radharani, she just laughed.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I was just doing the Aarti and then she just laughed. It felt like that.
She was happy that you did Arti?
I think so.
Wow. Amazing. I wish Radharani would laugh at me. At least smile. That would be nice. Okay. So now we have Vihan. Vihan. What is your experience?
So when Gurudev got coronavirus, I magically just chanted 16 rounds.
Uh-huh. And it went away.
I don't think, no. Didn't go away. I don't know when it goes away, but it just
Anyway.
chanted 16 rounds.
Yeah, if you get coronavirus, then that's what you do. You just chant, right? And what else are you going to do? Because it's, it's uncomfortable. Okay. Rupa Nug, Jiwani. You want to tell us your experience with chanting?
Prabhuji, I want to say that whenever I chant, I feel that I don't want to chant. I only want to play. I want to see something. So what should I do for that? If I want to chant attentively.
What should you do?
And also when I chant, some Radha Krishna doesn't comes in my mind. Only something comes in my mind that what is happening around us, what we will do afterwards, what we will
Okay.
play today. That that comes in my mind. So what should I do?
That's a good question. I think you should read a chapter of Krishna book before you chant. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Try it, see what happens, because you get that in your mind. That's in your mind. And then if you're having trouble, pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, help me. I need help chanting. I need help focusing. I need help praying. Okay. I think Charnamrit wants to say something. Is that true? Charnamrit, you want to say something?
Oh, I don't need to. I don't know something to say.
Okay. I thought you raised your hand. All right. Karuna wants to say something, right? What do you want to say, Karuna?
Sometimes in the morning, because every morning I chant one round. One morning I felt like chanting 6 rounds.
Wow, you couldn't stop. Is that what you're saying? You didn't feel like stop? That's really nice. Anyone have that experience? You start chanting, you can't stop?
No.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No ways.
No.
Someday, if you keep chanting, you won't want to stop. You'll chant, and someday you'll say, I can't stop. I just want to keep chanting.
Prabhuji, one time I chanted around like 10 rounds, I think,
Was it
like without stopping.
good?
Yeah, but my when I woke up, I needed to stretch a lot because I can't really even sit for half an hour properly. And
Well, most
in
kids
the,
can't.
yeah,
Unless they're incarnations or descended from the spiritual world. But that's good that you did 10. That's nice. How old are you? Mukunda, what's your age? Well, we won't. Yeah, maybe he'll answer later. Okay, Radha wants to say something.
One of the same thing happened to me. Like one time I was riding in a car to to some store, and then my dad gave me the reed bags, and then I started chanting, and then once we reached there, I probably chanted like 3 rounds, and I couldn't stop chanting, and then I was like, can I please bring the beads to the store? And my dad was like, what? And then I
Wow,
I had to stop, but then when I came back into the car, I started chanting again.
that is great. That's a nice story. How'd you feel?
I
Felt
felt
like you were drinking nectar?
good. Yeah, kinda.
Anyone have that experience? When you chant, like nectar? Charnamrit, you have that experience? That's your name. Like it feels like special, like nothing else I've ever done feels like this. Any one of you have that experience? Sometime?
I have
One?
a question.
Okay.
You know, so someone gave me that name. You know who?
Your mother,
No.
your grandmother.
Vaishishika Prabhu.
Who?
Vaishishika Prabhu.
Oh, he gave you that name. Charnamrit. Oh, fantastic. So you will drink nectar and give nectar.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyone else have a story? About
Yes,
chanting?
Prabhuji.
Who? Somebody?
Well, once I was going for a really long drive, and it was about 2 hours, and in the end, I ended up chanting about 19 rounds because it gave me something to do. Me and my mum were chanting 19 rounds,
Wow.
and then
Wow.
on the way, and then when I got there, I felt really good.
19 rounds. And how many did you chant on the way back? 25?
I chanted my normal rounds, and I do 2 rounds every day.
Wow. That's fantastic. These are good experiences to remember. You know, whenever you have a good experience with chanting, you should implant it in your head and your heart so you don't forget. Dalji, what's your experience?
Once when I was in Vrindavan like a few years, I felt inspired to chant a lot of rounds. So I went up to 16 rounds in one day and then went to 20 rounds later on.
Wow. How old were you when you were there?
Around 8.
Oh my God. You were 8 years old and you were doing 16 and 20 rounds. That's amazing. How'd you feel?
Happy.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, Ashu wants to say something.
Like once we were in our bhakti rickshaw and it was our chanting time, and we were chanting, and normally sometimes I get distracted, but on that day I saw Krishna standing and like playing the flute while I was chanting.
Really? And what happened after that? You fainted?
After that I finished my rounds.
Oh. Well, Krishna was very merciful to you. Special mercy.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna. My name is Tulsi Priya.
Hare Krishna, Tulsi Priya. You want to
Hare
share
Krishna.
something you're chanting?
Yes, Prabhuji. When my father got stuck in the rainwater, we chant Hare Krishna, and at the night time when I was going to sleep, someone knocked on the door, and if I opened, there was no one. So the next day at 14th October, my father came and I hugged him and say thank you to Radha and Krishna.
Wow. Hare Krishna. That's amazing.
Whenever I think of Lord Jagannath, then Jagannath will appear in my heart or really.
Can you say that again, Tarini? Tarini? Can you? I didn't hear. Can you say again?
Whenever I think of Jagannath, he appears in front of me in my heart.
Wow, that's amazing. You think of Jagannath and he appears in front of you, or he appears in your mind, in your heart. That is amazing. You like to chant Jai Jagannath? Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai. I think Karuna has to say something. You have to say something, Karuna?
One time I was at my grandmother's house and I was watching a little bit of Krishna, and then I was looking at the Rasa dance and thinking, I wish I was the Rasa dance. And then I put on some of my clothes and I began to do the same thing as they were doing the Rasa dance.
Wow. You know, I wish I was in the Rasa dance also. But when Lord Chaitanya used to do kirtan in the evenings in Mayapur at Srivasanga, that was like the Rasa dance also, because those men in their eternal forms are gopis. So their kirtan was like a Rasa dance. Did you know that?
My hand.
Did you know that? You
I
can.
know it because every night I listen to stories of Chaitanya on a lecture.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So we can all aspire to dance with Krishna in the rasa dance.
Prabhuji,
But you have to become qualified.
Prabhuji,
It's a good desire. But you have to be a pure lover of Krishna, otherwise you can't get in. Did you know that?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
can you tell us a story about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's past time when he was small, because that stories are very funny.
There are many funny stories. You want me to tell or you want to tell?
Can you tell? Because I am not that qualified.
A funny story of Lord Chaitanya? Yeah. He used to, when the Brahmins would chant Gayatri, he would go in the Ganga and he would go under, get water in his mouth, and he'd spit the water on them while they chanted Gayatri. And sometimes when they were chanting Gayatri, he would go under the water and pull their legs. He would do mischief. He liked to do mischief. And then he didn't like to go to school. And so he would get some ink. And he wouldn't go to school, but he would put ink on his hand. And his father would say, I heard you didn't go to school. He said, yeah, I went to school. You see the ink, it's on my hand. Of course, he knew everything. He didn't have to go to school. But just like Krishna does mischief, Mahaprabhu does mischief as a kid. Young boys like to do mischief, don't they? Navneet, you like to do mischief? You know, do something, you know, you're not supposed to do, right? And you know that story when the Brahmin came to Lord Chaitanya's house, and the Brahmin had a Gopal deity, and he was offering, Brahmin was offering.
What's he saying?
And he had offered to his Gopal deity, and then Mahaprabhu would his offering, he would come and eat it. You know that story? That Brahmin would go crazy because now he couldn't, the offering was ruined. So he'd go cook again, make the offering, Lord Chaitanya would come and eat it. And then he'd cook again, and Lord Chaitanya would come and eat it, and he would get so upset. And Lord Chaitanya would say, why are you so upset? You're calling me and I'm coming to eat. And then Lord Chaitanya showed that he was Krishna, and the Brahmin went completely crazy. Ah! So sometimes Lord Chaitanya would show himself as Krishna when he was showing mercy to people. So that's nice. I have a story. Can I tell my story?
Yes.
I was in Mayapur, and a friend of mine does kirtan every day. He has this little cart. He has a rickshaw, and he has a loudspeaker on the back of the rickshaw. You know those rickshaws with the wooden, you've seen them? They have a wooden, it's like a little flatbed truck. It's got wood in the back. It's a rickshaw in front, but there are no seats. It's just flat. So he would put a sound system there, and he would sit on it, and we would do kirtan. So he would do kirtan. He asked me to come, so we went to Navadvip and we did kirtan. I don't know, 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, I can't remember, just nonstop kirtan. And then we came back to Mayapur, and when we came back to Mayapur, I got off the rickshaw and I couldn't stop chanting. I actually couldn't stop. And I wasn't chanting the holy name. It's like Mahaprabhu must have been pleased with that kirtan. And I couldn't stop chanting. But not only that, I was having the experience that there's nothing but chanting. Chanting is everything. There's nothing else. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that. Sometimes you enjoy something so much, you think there's nothing better than this. So for about a half hour, I was just chanting. And it was a very special experience that I'd never had before that and never had after that, of just like, there's only the holy name. That's all there is. And that's all we need. I think Sunbi wanted to say something. You wanted to say something, Sunbi, or no? No, no. So Karuna wants to say something. What's your realization, Karuna?
Yeah, I have a lot of things in mind.
Right.
The
Tell us.
same day I was watching a movie of Krishna, and then I just couldn't stop thinking of Krishna. And then later I was eating, and then I was thinking of Krishna.
Fantastic. Were you ecstatic thinking of Krishna?
Prabhu, Adish's hand is up.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So once what happened is that I was in like Idaho with my cousins, and we were having this Japathon thingy, and surprisingly I did 21 rounds, and I never knew that I could do it.
Wow.
And I was like really surprised, and I just kept going and kept going, and I was super surprised at the end.
And how was it? It was good, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't as hard as you thought, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a story like that. Similar story. We did a Japa retreat in upstate New York. It was out in the country. And so we take one day and we do 64 rounds, which basically will take you like 8 hours or 9 hours. Basically, we just chant all day up until late afternoon, early evening. And a lot of devotees who have never chanted 64 rounds, they're a little bit in anxiety because they think it's going to be difficult, just chanting, Sometimes chanting 16 is hard for some devotees, control their mind. So this one devotee was saying, I'm in anxiety about tomorrow, about chanting 64. I might go crazy trying to chant 64. And I said, well, just expect that it's going to go really well. Just think it's going to go well. Don't think it's going to go bad. Just think it's going to go well, right? So the next evening after the 64 round day, he came to me and he said, when I got to 64, I couldn't stop. And I chanted 84 rounds that day. So he thought it was going to be difficult to chant 16. When he got, 64, when he got to 64, he couldn't stop. That is the nature of spiritual life. If you actually associate properly with Krishna, why would you ever stop? Yes, Karuna, tell us something.
A few months ago, or like 1 year, I don't know, but a long time ago, one day I chanted 40 rounds in one day.
No.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I don't know. I remember I was like 5 or 6.
Wow, you chanted 40 rounds.
Yeah.
That's amazing. How was it?
It was really good. I remember we were going to go in the shop. I was just wrapping up my round and everything went well in the shop.
Oh yeah, if you chant, everything goes well. That's a fact. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. That might be the world's record for a 5-year-old. Yes, Radha.
So one time there was a Japa retreat in New Jersey. So I was also very tensed up because I was not that good at chanting a lot of rounds, because at that time I was a really slow chanter. So I only chanted 16 rounds, and then when it was time to share, because when it was that time, the temple president really liked everyone to share their rounds.
Yeah, okay.
So it was kind of really stressful for me.
You shouldn't be stressed. Well, whatever you can do is good. That's how we have to think. Prabhupada wanted devotees who were going to be initiated to chant 16, because he felt if you chant 16 every day, then you could become Krishna conscious. So, as you get older, you can see if that's what you want to do, and you're able to do it. And if you can, it's fantastic. And even if you want, if you want to chant more rounds, it has to be natural. You have to want to do it. You have to get a taste. So that's important. Okay. Now I want to talk about something that may be helpful for you. Unless somebody else wants to share. Anybody dying to share?
Yes, there is Navin Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, Navin Krishna. You can share.
I think last year on Janmashtami, I promised my parents that I would do 16 rounds, but I ended up doing 32.
How many?
32.
Fantastic. That's amazing. How come you didn't stop? You just...
I just carried on until like 1 o'clock or something.
Yeah. When I was a young devotee, every Janmashtami I did 64 rounds. Because in those days there wasn't much going on, not much festival or anything. So that's fantastic. Those are like any holiday, like Nityananda Trayodasi is coming up on Thursday, at least here in America. Any holiday, it's a good day to try to chant more because you get mercy on those days. You get special mercy, so it's easier to chant. So you should all, make a note. Like anytime there's a holiday, that's the day if you want to chant, try to chant more. Those are the days, of course, Ekadasi, but special days. Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima. So now we have Nityananda and Gaur Purnima coming up. Those are very good days for chanting. And Karuna is dying to tell us something. What do you want to tell us?
On Ekadasi, my mom chants either on Ekadasi, my mom, I don't know, but she chants either 64 or 25 rounds a day. I don't know which one, but one of those.
Well, if she chants 64 rounds a day, it would take her 8 hours. And if she chants 25, it would take her 2.5.
She chants 17 every day, but on Ekadashi, she chants either 25 or 64.
Nice. And you? What about you? What do you do on Ekadasi? Mm-hmm.
On Ekadashi, sometimes I make it, it's difficult to make it more because the thing is, in the morning, I'm very hungry.
You're hungry only on Ekadasi, right?
Yes, because on Ekadashi, we can't eat grains.
So you think about grains more on Ekadasi, right? Because you can't have them.
Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Anyone else want to share their stories? Anything special?
Prabhuji, I want to say that I every day.
Yes. Who's speaking?
Prabhuji, I every day chant 8 rounds, and in Ekadashi especially, I chant 10 or 9 rounds.
That's nice. Ekadasi is a auspicious day. You can chant. Now, Naveen wants to say something. Yes.
I would say this coronavirus pandemic has actually helped me a lot because I had holiday off from school for about 2 or 3 weeks straight. I would chant 16 rounds.
Coronavirus has become a coronavirus for some people, right? It's become an opportunity. Yeah.
Prabhuji, my grandmother chants 64 rounds.
Every day?
Yeah.
Wow. Tarini's grandmother chants 64 rounds every day. Where do you live? Where is she?
I live in Mumbai.
Oh, your grandmother is there with you in the house? She's in Mumbai also?
Bangalore.
Oh, wow. I wish I had a grandmother that chanted 64 rounds. That's inspiring. You inspired, Tarini? Your grandmother inspires you?
Your voice
No.
is not clear.
No, all of you, yeah. You're either your grandmother inspires you or you inspire your grandmother, or both. Right.
No,
So,
she does. I don't know even now. My mother told right now.
oh, you didn't know that. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, I want to say something. It's getting late and I haven't even said anything. So, Corinne, I want to say something. I have to make a point before we go. So, I really appreciate your stories. I'm very inspired by your stories.
Sometimes when I remember Krishna, I become like in a trance and I just think of him.
Fantastic. Can you show me some mercy so that happens to me? Can you help us all do that?
I don't know how.
Oh, it just happens. Yeah. Well, if you figure out, let us know. So if you try to improve your chanting, then you'll have more stories like this, more experiences. And I like the stories where the devotees said that, sometimes they just didn't want to stop chanting. Like we heard one story where he chanted like so many rounds with just very young age, and you're chanting a lot and you don't want to stop. That's fantastic. And those experiences are very important because when you're older, you'll remember them and they will give you strength and inspiration. And you want to hear a funny story? One time a news reporter asked Prabhupada, he said, well, when you chant, what do you get from it? What's the result? And Prabhupada said something funny, but it's true. He said, the result of chanting is more chanting. Now, the reporter didn't understand because the reporter was thinking, well, does it make you happy? Does it make you peaceful? How does it make you feel? And Prabhupada said, the result of chanting is more chanting. And what did Prabhupada mean? That the more you chant, the more you want to chant. And the more you chant, the better for you. So the result of chanting is more chant. Hare, how many rounds did you chant in that car?
19.
19, yeah, that's amazing. So if we chant more, but not just more, but we chant well, then we're going to have more of these experiences. And it's very special when you're chanting and you don't want to stop. It's special mercy. But it means that you're doing something right, and Krishna is showing mercy, and he's giving you a taste so you can keep chanting. And it's so much nicer when you have a taste because it's so much easier. And you can just chant, chant, chant. Karuna, where do you live?
I live in Lebanon,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
in the city of Jura.
Oh, wow. You were born there?
Yes.
Wow.
No, we were born at my dad's I was born in I was born in a hospital,
Me too.
and
Me too.
but I was born here in Lebanon, and then because we didn't have a house then, so we were staying at my dad's grandfather's place.
Where? In Lebanon?
It's in Brumana.
Oh, okay. I've been to Lebanon. I think I told you once on my way to India.
They're not doing so well here. There's a complete lockdown where nobody can go out.
Oh. Anyway, that's okay sometimes. Sometimes it's good to stay inside. Good for your Krishna consciousness. Okay, well, I appreciate all your stories. I'm really inspired now. And I hope you are all inspired. And I hope you get more into your chanting so we can hear more of these good stories, these good japa stories. They're really inspiring. And then, so what I wanted to say is if you work on improving your japa, and the Prabhupada said, well, when you chant, what's the result? The result is you get more chanting. So that's good, right? But if the result of chanting is you get more chanting, the problem is if you chant bad japa, you get more bad japa. And if you chant good japa, you get more good japa. So you have to be careful the way you chant, because the more you chant, the more it becomes a habit, right? So good experiences with japa are important because they'll help you get more good experiences. Okay, so I hope that helped. I hope you had a good time. And we're going to end now. And it was nice seeing you all. And we hope to see you next month with some good stories. All right, Karuna's going to end. Karuna, you should give the next class yourself. You have so much to say. How old are you now, Karuna?
7.
7, yeah. You should give the next class.
Actually,
Whoops, you just muted yourself.
I'm 7.5.
Okay. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
wait till. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do every day. One time I was watching a movie here, and I just really got into the movie. I couldn't stop, and when my mom and dad, they had to stop me, and then I just kept remembering Krishna and his pastimes, and
Fantastic. Sounds like you really
I was
like.
sitting here. I was reading something about Krishna, and it was really hard to forget him.
Wow, fantastic. You're very fortunate, Karuna. You have a real attraction. And Radha wants to say something. Yes.
When I watch like the Hare Krishna movie, like that's my favorite movie. Other than the Abhay Charan, that's also one of my favorite movies. I just don't, especially when after I finish it, I just really feel like helping the movement a lot, like when I grow up. And then usually sometimes I watch it in the night like at 9 o'clock, and it ends somewhere at 10:30. So then I just dream of Prabhupada. So
Fantastic. Well, we are leaving the movement in your hands, all of you, right? Because when you're old enough to help this movement, then Krishna will give you service as much as you want. And it's your great honor to be able to do that service for Prabhupada and help. As he helped people, you help people. Okay. I think we should stop now. We went overtime. So Karuna, you have to.
When will there be the next class?
1 month. We'll let you know. Like the middle of the month next in March.
Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes when I just remember Krishna, I put on the clothes and I start dancing.
Like a gopi, rasa dance.
One time I was watching a movie and it was so nice to see Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, you're very fortunate. Keep dancing.
Hi, Krishna.
Okay, everyone, we're going to end class now. And I hope you got,
Thank you.
hope you got some.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the class.
I just go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna for the class. Have a great day.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the
Have a great rest of your day. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Go get the class. That's a question.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Do this more
Hare
often.
Krishna.